Hello and welcome. So today is kind of a little bit of a different one because it's more talking about bone reading and updates about bone reading. We may do some bone reading today, but first we are looking at what I got because I've been so busy that I went straight from Haworth to Bristol to Wiltshire to Zena. So, so yeah, I didn't really get to talk much about Haworth apart from the live at the Peculiar shop where we did choose our haunted dolls. We did do that, but I didn't talk much more about Haworth and what else I got there and what else I found there. So so if you are in this stream, if you attend this stream, I will put you on a priority list for the actual reading. This stream is not the actual reading, it's more talking a little bit about it and showing you the new additions to the reading. So this is a little bit more of a kind of relaxed talky type stream. Um, but yeah, um, I will make a. That's what I should do actually. I will make a list. If you are in this stream, you can be priority. If you make it to the next stream, you can have a bone reading and you'll be on priority. So let me just grab my book is not that far. My pen. Where's my pen? Oh yes. There we are. I'm never prepared list wise. Never prepared list wise. Ever. So, hello, welcome. Can you tell me? Let me see who's in. Ankita, Mary, Mohammed, Rain. Ankita says, "Can you tell me how will be my article ship journey? I got selected in company and start working tomorrow." Well, this isn't a reading stream. I'm really, really sorry. This isn't a reading stream. So I do apologise. I know that mostly I do reading streams. But sometimes I like to update you guys on what's going on and what I've done and give you a bit of an introduction into things because, you know, a lot of people are intrigued by bone reading, but maybe not exactly 100% on it because I have my own twist on it anyway. But there are some fears around bone reading as, you know, the Hollywood's rendition of voodoo is very dark, and people do use voodoo for dark. But bone reading just kind of originated in Africa and then within voodoo. But do bear in mind, guys, that voodoo at its core is just a religion. A lot of people do use it for dark, and I'm not denying that. But there is just a religion of voodoo that has no negative connotation. So I think that we need to remember that, you know, it's like Hollywood paints a lot of divination as very, very dark. We even have now darkened the energies of the Ouija board by our collective consciousness. So I have spoken about that on a different stream, but that's for a different stream. So if you're so I'll make a list, I'll make a priority. Uh priority. Why can't I spell? I don't know. Bones. Bones. Okay. So let's see. I see. Let me change the chat because oh yeah, it's on top messages again. It keeps doing this to me. I still see Ankita first. I still see Ankita as first. So I do apologise for that. That's what's coming up on my screen. It says Ankita and then Mary. And then Mohammed. Suns, hello, welcome. Demini, hello. So Kieran, I add you now. I don't know why, if your message isn't showing up. This has happened a few times. Happened to Esleela the other day. Demeanor, yes, you may be added, but bear in mind this is priority. So this is a priority list for the next stream. This stream is talking about my trip to Haworth, talking about what new bones we have and what they represent, and just how we're going to expand on the bone reading. So it'll give you a bit more of an idea. And I can add you. You must make the next stream. The real blue ice says, "Hi, gorgeous. Here do wish you good day and tell you that you deserve only the best and you rock. Keep it up." Thank you very much. Same to you. Right back at you. So the real blue ice. Thank you very much. Agita says the teddy hat is so cute. I'm obsessed with Mosquito. I do love the brand, and I do think it's because the teddy is so cute. But they're also very good quality brands. I do like them. Tamini says that, yeah, you're around 2 Ankita's fast. That's really strange. So Fusion Rocket, yes, I do many different types of readings. I do crystal ball, I do tarot, I do pendulum, I do bone reading, I do flower reading, I do past life reading, I do starseed reading, I do candle wax reading, I do tons and tons of different types of readings. You could call me a Liverpudlian, I'm not offended by that. I live on the Wirral, which is across the water from Liverpool. But yes, we are very connected, very close, and we have very similar accents. So yes, well done. Where are you from? Yes, I am a medium. I don't often work mediumship because I find it a bit emotional connecting with deceased loved ones, but I have done it, can do it. So our priority list, for the next stream is Ankita, Mary, Mohammed, Kieran, Damini, and Anna Ket. But first, I want to introduce, so when I was at Haworth, I think I have the what are they called? Business cards. So this is the peculiar shop. I know it's back to front for you. But this is the peculiar shop. I will link all of that in the description. I tried to at her, but it wouldn't let me in the description. So I hopefully I can add that afterwards. But the peculiar shop, so that's where I actually got my crow's feet. So I haven't actually opened this yet. Crow's feet says connection to spirit, world, protection, transformation, and mystery. Now, I think a lot of people keep them in the jar, you know, for any practice or anything like that. But as we will be using them in bone reading. Oh, I hope I can open it. I'm going to need a man to help me. Oh. Okay, maybe I won't be able to open it myself. But I will be using the crow's feet within. I'm not very strong. I have a strong spirit. I'm not strong physically. I might have to pry at that a little bit to get that open. But we will. I can show you anyway. So if you can see, we have some crow's feet in there. As some of you know, we already do connect with the chicken foot in our bone reading already. So now we're adding crow's feet for an extra insight, extra reading. But the store I really loved, I have also added that in the description. The store I really loved was Spooks of Haworth. So Spooks of Haworth is a really great store, and they have a lot of bones, and it was really, really interesting. So I did get quite a selection. This is a sheep shoulder bone, you know, like collarbone? Not collarbone, what do you call it? Shoulder blade. So this is a sheep shoulder blade. This won't be used in the readings because it's just too big. I like my readings materials to be, or my reading elements to be, how can I say, portable, small enough to be portable, basically. But I just thought it was interesting, so I did buy that. I just read the comments here. Oh, Stealth, I wish you were here to open the door for me, thank you. Yeah, I think if you comment too soon, it deletes it. I think sometimes you have to wait, because I don't say hello and welcome straight away, because I know that YouTube cuts off the first part of the video. If I start straight away and I say hello, welcome, when I watch the video back, it's like welcome, like it cuts off the first half. Um, Fusion Rocket says my brother lived near Old Swan a few years back. I'm from Essex though, very different accent. Yes, I'm sure your accent's very nice. Old Swan, I have been there. I did live near there for a short period. Um, can you help to connect with my mum in the spirit world? I can do that. So I do channelings every month for members. Channelings are a members pack. The membership is only £3, three Great British pounds. So if you would like to have a reading, you can join as a member. You get a free channeling, and you also get um, 2 free crystal ball streams. Well, when I say free, they're with the membership, but they're extra. So they're only for members. So you get more time with me. I do longer readings, more time with people when they're on members. But mediumship is something, yeah, I only do that with members. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that, Kieran. And Samina, yes, of course. So the thing is that this is the list for the next stream. So people who make it to the next stream, if you guys make it to the next stream, you'll be priority. I kind of say pour hot water on a jar and make it easier to open. Yeah, sometimes I will like put a knife in there, you know, and it'll kind of loosen it. But I don't know. Maybe it's actually sealed with something, because I don't think you're supposed to open it. I think the idea is to keep it that way. But I will get them out. I will get them out eventually. But I did want to show the bones. Self says chicken foot sounds like voodoo magic. Well, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, which I know not everyone was in for, voodoo at its core is just a religion. There's a lot of dark people who practice voodoo in a negative way, but there's a positive aspect of voodoo at its core where it was just a religion. So it's been painted and depicted very evilly, and people do use it evilly, but traditionally voodoo is just a religion. And using bones in magic practices or reading practices is actually very respectful. You know, utilizing these are all ethically sourced bones. These animals were not killed for their bones. You know, they were, a lot of them are like roadkill. A lot of them are deers. There's a very specific type of deer that roams the hills of Haworth, and a lot of the time when they pass and they begin to decompose, people will use their bones. People who are into this kind of thing. So it's all very ethical and honouring the beings, you know, honouring the animals. So this one is it's a spine. I believe this is from a sheep. I believe, but I think it's very interesting. So we have a lot of sheep and deer things going on, but I will show you. So this one, I believe this one's from a bird. I already have bird spine, but this seems like a bigger bird to me. I have a seabird spine, so it's nice to have a more of a land bird. So that's quite interesting. I do like that. We have this one. I think this might be. could be rabbit or deer. Is it a bit big for rabbit? I'm going to double check with the lady. So the lady's called Nikki or Nick. From the store Spooks of Haworth, and she is amazing. She's very, very lovely, very helpful, very kind, and I also think I have inspired her to do her own bone readings. She was already into all of this stuff anyway, but I think that I've kind of given her a little bit more of a push to go ahead with it. So it would be nice to maybe even get a reading from her myself and see, the differences between our interpretations of the bones if she does end up doing it. But yeah, so that I think I would maybe say deer is a bit big for a rabbit. I'm unsure. I will have to double check. Ooh, double check all of these. We also have so this, I'm not even sure what part of the body that's from. If you have a guess of what part of the body that's from, I'd be very intrigued. These were all in. If you, some of you saw my short video, and there was just a lot of there was a lot of bones in a basket, and they were all just £1. So I was like, I'm gonna take 10 of these. So there we go. We have one there. I'm feeling like this might be from a bird, but I'm not sure. Is it a bit big for a bird? This is I believe it's part of a rabbit, like leg or something, or arm, or, whatever it might be. But yeah, I will find out them for sure, because obviously to get the meanings I have to be very sure. But I haven't looked at them for a very long time, but I'm just showing you. So this one's very interesting. Definitely a smaller animal. This may be bird or a rabbit or something. And of course that again is spinal bone. And these won't be used in readings because they're quite, but again, like the sheep collarbone, no, shoulder blade, sorry, I just found them really interesting. These are one is a sheep rib and one is a deer rib. So I remember that. Very, very interesting. So some bones, but we're getting to the better ones in a moment. So we have a very small one. I believe this is a bird, from a bird, like a bird leg or something. And there we are. So I'll just read the comments, but I do want to get to the slightly more interesting ones in a moment. I'm not that they're not interesting, they are interesting, but I do want to get to the slightly more interesting ones. They will probably be okay. The thing about the bones is, a lot of you who have seen me cast, you know that we hold the bones above the casting mat and we drop them a little bit. So we have to make sure they're not breakable. So some of them will be coated. This is the whole point today. I have some, it's actually clay varnish, but I'm hoping it will just give them a bit of strength, kind of like, Nick suggested to coat them in like super glue or something like that, but the super glue I have is very thick, so I'm hoping the varnish works. If it doesn't, I'll get a thinner super glue and I will use that. But yeah, some of them, like maybe that one, might require a little bit of varnish because it's a bit fragile. So, and this one even maybe it's a little bit fragile. So we want to get the fragile ones. But this was really sweet. So I came back into the shop. I said I was going to come back. She left me a bag, and it just says toe bones for the bone reader coming today. And she just left me a little bag and charged me pretty cheap, £10 again. But she says these are toe bones. They're all very interesting. These don't need varnishing. They're quite sturdy. But we have a few of those. Those will be deer, rabbit, and sheep. Deer, rabbit, and sheep mainly is what you get up there. What you get up there in Haworth. Apart from when maybe the cats catch the birds. Or they have. Did you get some It's not meerkat. What's it called? It begins with M, I'm sure it does. But maybe I have with school of it, let's see. So they're the toe bones. I won't use all of them, but I will use some of them. But these are the very interesting ones. So let's get to the very interesting ones. We'll have one here. So this one is still again from Spooks of Haworth. Let me read the comments first. Let's see. Chicken foot is delicious, by the way. Common food. And yes, I heard it's like really common in China to eat chicken foot in like food. I've never tried it. Tamina says yes, YouTube does that sometimes, guys. Even if you're a subscriber, I wouldn't say no, you are not a subscriber. I won't let the chat on stream, so you have to resubscribe. Oh my gosh. Eselila, hello. Fire and Water says, hello, dear Venus. I have never had a bone reading. How does it work? So, we'll talk a little bit more about how it works in a bit, but we are just going to go over the bones for a moment. Eselila says, may I be added? Where's my pen? What did I do with the pen? There we are. So, Eselila. So, guys, do bear in mind, the priority list is for the next stream. So you must make the next stream in order to... but Steph, it's lovely to see you. It's lovely to see some new people in the chat. I really appreciate that and hope you subscribe and come to some of my readings, because I will be doing some readings. There will be a bone reading later today, and this is the priority list for it, so I hope you guys can make it. And we will add some of the new bones. The ones that we're varnishing may not be ready in time. They may still be drying, but we'll add what we can. Fire and Water says 1010 at 12:23. Yes, and 1010 is a really prominent angel number right now, especially for one of my clients who keeps seeing it. Self says, do you actually see spirits and do they communicate with you telepathically? Yeah, I suppose you could call it telepathically, but it comes in different ways. So you can do scrying. So you can use a scrying mirror, you can use a crystal ball, you can just use your own gifts. You can have claircognizance, you can have clairsentience, you can have clairaudience. So sometimes you might receive messages, like you're saying, you'll hear it in your mind, so it's kind of telepathic, like you're saying. But sometimes it's like visions, and sometimes, yes, you do actually see them physically there. Well, they don't look as physical as a human, but you know, the ghostly essence. Oh no, it's buffering. It used to tell me when it buffers, now it just doesn't. It just lets me carry on. Don't worry, Kieran. You are on the priority list. Sajgal, hello. Mimo, Lian, new sub. How to feel if I text him on message? Unfortunately, this is not a crystal ball, pendulum, or tarot, so I'm not answering questions right now. But you're very welcome to come to my readings. I will do many readings. There will be a crystal ball tomorrow. So you're very welcome to ask questions then. But please read the title. This is not a reading stream. Fire and Water says I'd like to be added. You're very welcome to be added. Izzy says hi, hello, and welcome. Oh, Jamini, I'm glad it's good now. I'm glad it's good. Okay, so we may varnish these ones. They seem a little fragile. That's the priority list. We can add to it if anyone else comes in. Of course, we'll have to be on the next stream to be on that priority list. But yes, so I was showing you this. So this is from the Spooks of Haworth. This is one I chose from the selection she had, and it would definitely need varnishing because it's very fragile. But this is a rabbit skull, and as you can see, it's very interesting. And I did want a skull very badly. So we have a rabbit skull. It's very interesting. You can see where teeth were as well. So it is a very interesting skull. Um, so this one will be varnished. It's a little bit fragile, so hopefully we can help it out with the varnish. Take the price tag off in a moment. It was only £20. That's actually pretty good. But so that was from the Spooks of Haworth. Now I did get another score from the Peculiar Shop. So the Peculiar Shop is another very, I love the Peculiar Shop, it's great. And that's where I got the haunted dolls from. The lady in there is very kind, very sweet. Um, she gave me a discount because I bought so much things from her. But this is, if we look at this is a mouse skull. So very tiny. I thought it's very fragile, it's very tiny, but I thought I must have it because it's when I'm traveling, you know, I like to have, like I say, very small things that are easily transportable. And the mouse has a lot of spiritual significance. If you get like mouse messages or mouse totem animal, you're being guided to look at the small things and the small details. So that is going to really come in handy for readings. And it's very interesting, as you can see. It's a very interesting skull, very tiny. If you look at that compared to the rabbit, you know, it's very small. It's very small. So, well, these are the ones we're definitely going to varnish. We need to make sure these are durable. So here, this is like a silicone, you know, non-stick mat. So hopefully, when I varnish them, they don't stick to it. But I think that at the moment, I think that's all we need to varnish. So if you want to chat away or ask me any questions, and I don't mean like crystal ball questions because I don't have the crystal ball right now. But if you want to have a bit of a chat or anything like that, you're very welcome. You're very welcome to request if you're not already on the priority list. You're welcome to request to be on it, and all of those things. Oh, I thought I'd opened this already. Yeah, I have. Okay. So we're going to try with the varnish. I thought the paintbrush. The paintbrush is a bit sticky. Oh no, oh no. Not starting out very well. Not starting out very well. I will get some wipes. Very sticky. So we will put that to one side. We just got some wipes, so it'll be a moment. I'm wearing my cape again because it's so cold. So I'm wearing my cape. Oh, and one reason also why I chose the rabbit skull. So there was a lot of different skulls. I can't remember the animal that begins with an M. I can't remember it. So there's a lot of different skulls that I could have chose from. You know, I had to resist from getting them all because I can't go too over the top. But but I chose the rabbit skull because what the other taxidermy store, as some of you saw, my other bones, I actually got a rabbit pellet or pelt, which is just like some rabbit fur. So I thought it would be nice to, after the rabbit skull is varnished, to super glue the fur onto it as well. And I think that would be quite nice to just add a little bit of something extra, something different. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to need a different paintbrush for this. You should always clean your paintbrush right away after you're done because it saves this from happening. But I actually think we're getting there. Yeah, I think we're getting there. Fire and Water says the school is cool. Yes, I'm so glad I have schools now. I think it really, you know, it really completes the collection. I think because I have a lot of teeth and spines, and I think you need a bit more, you know, a bit more than that. And actually, she also gave me, she gave me the tooth of of an animal. It's in my bag somewhere. Um, and it's the animal I keep forgetting the name of it, and it begins with M. It's not a meerkat. I keep going to say meerkat, but it's not what it is. Begins with M, and I can't think of it. Um, yeah, if I have any teeth that match up, I could do that. I might get a bird skull because they are pretty cool and they have the jawbone still with them. I might even remove the jawbone and just use that. But yeah, I think I'm getting a bit obsessed. So I'm like, calm down, Venus, calm down. Um, Andrew Hoffman says, "What are your spiritual beliefs?" I am an eclectic practitioner. I work with the light. I only work with white magic. I respect everything that I use. All of these animals are died of natural causes and are ethically sourced. Um, I I have a very eclectic beliefs. I don't think I could give you my whole spiel on everything I believe, but yeah, I practice white magic. The only time I work with the dark is if I'm releasing it or cleansing it or something like that. Mustafa says, "How was your church on Sunday?" A mongoose? No, it's not. It's not a mongoose. But thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate the help. I'm sure it begins with M. When I remember, I'll ask her. I'll message her and ask her. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a little bit of a varnish. Let's try the mouse first, since the mouse is the smallest and definitely the most fragile. So if you're new in and you want to request to be on the priority list for when we actually do the reading, oh, it's very drippy. You're very welcome to do that. You're very welcome to request to be on priority. But first, I'm going to start varnishing because I need to get going. I've had these since I've been to Haworth and I've just been so busy. So that's the first layer of the mouse. We'll see how quickly they dry. I'm not sure how quickly they will dry. Let's do the... I do believe this is... I don't know if it's bird spine. I have a seabird spine and it's pretty similar. I'm going to have to send these pictures back to Nick and say, I've forgotten what they are, please tell me. I know most are rabbits, deers. Rabbits, deers, and sheep is most common. And then maybe birds after that. Birds just if the cats catch them, you know? But naturally dying on the mountains, usually the sheep, deer. I wish I could remember what that other one was called. Just hoping the silicone is good enough for... Oh, and I need to cut the tag off this one. I think my knife is just over there. Just grab it. Grab it. It's a ritual knife. It's usually used in rituals. So I do have it handy. in this space. Usually, clean my hands first. Oh, I think I have my hand sanitizer here actually. The Great Lord Takanka, hello and welcome. Child of Antimos says you're very pretty. Thank you. I've been getting a lot of compliments on stream lately. Um, I really appreciate that because, you know, it's very common to get trolls. I got hand sanitizer on my pants. Oh well, better than getting varnish on them, I suppose. I am from the UK, from the Wirral, a place called the Wirral. That's where I'm from. So now we go with this one. I don't know if anybody gives any guesses. Any guesses to what this might be? I think maybe I will do a few layers, but I'll just do one layer on this stream and then jump off and prepare for bone reading. I do have some readings and sessions to do, but I'm thinking of just streaming first. Getting streaming not out the way because I do enjoy it, but so then I can just get my head down and get some work done after that, you know? So, so if you are new to bone reading, if you've never heard of it, you've never had a bone reading before, I will do a bit of an introduction to actually how it works on the stream. So we'll do a bit of an we'll do a bit of an introduction to how it works on the stream. So you're very welcome to join. But if you do want to be added to the priority list, please do let me know. So anybody who joins the next stream who's on the priority list, of course, will be priority. That's how it's going to work. So hopefully you can make the next stream. It shouldn't be too far away. We actually have 3 of our bones varnished so far. Just really hoping that the silicon's good enough and they don't stick. So, oh yes, now we need to, this is the one I think I need to be most careful with and most fragile. It's most fragile, I think. The rabbit skull. There's just a lot of different parts to it, you know, and they're all very thin. So we'll cut off with my ritual knife. It's a very pretty iridescent knife, but I do use it a lot in like cleanses and things. When I'm cutting cord cutting. So it needs a bit of a clean itself actually. It's a bit waxy. I use a lot of candles in my work, so yeah, let's varnish the rabbit skull, and then I think we'll be done, and we can perhaps move on to bone reading pretty soon. Freya says, hi, can I be added on the list for a bone reading, please? Yes, of course. I'll add you now. So we'll go to, oh, where's the list? What have I done with the list? Typical Venus. Oh, there we are. And then the pen. What did I do with the pen? I got the list, but where's the pen? Oh no, Freya. What am I going to do? I don't think I moved it off this desk. Isn't my pen very dirty? I don't remember moving it. I don't remember. Did I put it in one of these bags maybe? This scroll is this is information about how to care and connect with the haunted dolls. So that's another stream that's coming up very soon, the haunted doll stream. So we'll be reading this before we connect with Jodie, I think, if any of you guys did vote in the poll, you probably noticed that Jodie is the favourite. My favourite is Simone and then Pal and then Jodie, but everybody else disagrees with me. So Freya. So our priority list is Ankita, Mary, Mohammed, Kieran, Damini, Aniket, Samina, Aslila, Fire and Water, and Freya. So whoever of you comes on to the next stream will be prioritised for the bone reading. I don't know how many bone readings we'll get through. They are. I try to do like on stream. Of course, I do sample readings, so it's not a full reading like you'll get if you bought a reading. It is a sample reading. You don't get as many elements, like as many bones, as many shells, as many crystals as you would get if you bought a full reading. But it's still very interesting, it's still very beneficial, it still gives some insight. So hopefully they don't take too long and we can get a few done. But if you don't get done this time, oh yeah, this is very fragile, this one. I really hope this varnish helps. And it is clay varnish. So I'm just hoping it gives a bit of extra strength to them. Nick suggested, well, she suggested super glue, but my super glue is very thin, thick, I mean. So I didn't think it would have been suitable. Maybe parts of this one that I will super glue because it's very fragile. You can see now, I feel like I'm about to break it. Please don't break. I could just go in that side. That might help. Yeah, that bit's very kind of, if I can show you, it's like this bit here. I don't know if you can see. Very, very fragile. Foxbone? Oh, you mean the spine one? This is definitely a rabbit skull. So I don't know which one you're referring to. Was it the spine or this one? Or the spine that you think is fox? I do have fox tooth. I do have fox tooth. This is a rabbit skull. This one. This particular one. Oh, it does have, it has one little tooth still in there. I didn't notice. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it just there? Most of them are holes, but one of them has a little tooth in it. I don't know if you can see that, but kind of coating this one as much as I can because it just feels so fragile. Little rabbit. And I will be super gluing some fur onto this one. So I'm very excited. It's going to be very unique. Yeah, I think that's good enough for one coat, I would say. One coat. Oh no, actually maybe the insides of the edges here, actually. Just a little bit extra. That bit's a bit mobile, it moves a little bit. It is a little bit fragile. Okay, so there's a lot of polish on here. So hoping they didn't stick to the silicone. Silicone's supposed to be pretty good. So So they're all varnished. I think the mouse will need a second coat. I definitely think the mouse will need a second coat. Spine looks pretty good. Maybe the mouse and the rabbit will need a second coat. So we'll see how quickly they dry, and they will be used soon. The bone reading that we're going to delve into in a moment, they won't be used just yet because they need to dry. But we may add some toe bones, we may add some of the spines that we saw, the more sturdy bones that we saw, we may add some of them. So the ones that I know exactly what they are, the ones I'm not sure of, I will have to ask and make sure I'm getting the right information. Maybe I could sit and meditate on it and get the answer. Do some scrying. I'm sure it would come to me. I'm sure it would. I think I'm pretty certain on them, but I just don't want to get it wrong, you know? And now, Venus, clean your brush before you put it back this time, and it will be better for the next time. I think that's the lesson here. So, I don't really want any extra varnish lying around just in case they stick to it too much. That's all. So just kind of mopping up the extra varnish there. I do think the mouse school is going to need an extra coat, but that's fine. So you can probably see, I know they're just behind the chat. Local neighborhood hater says varnishing animal skulls is kind of weird. I never claimed to not be weird. I've never claimed to not be weird. I'm happy with the title of weird. At least you got a cool hobby. Do you think she killed the animals herself? No, of course not. Don't be so ridiculous. Thank you, Stealth. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I would never kill an animal. I don't think I could do that. But yes, so I'll have to properly, thoroughly wash my hands now before the next stream. But let's just, show you a little bit closer here. So we have, if you can see them all, I think you can. Can you? So we have the one that we're not 100% sure of. I think it might be bird, but someone said it might be fox. I'm going to, of course, I'm going to double check before I use them. I'm sure this is bird or rabbit spine. This is a rabbit skull for sure, and this is a mouse skull for sure. So the skulls we are sure of, and look out for the rabbit skull getting its fur put on it. I will show you the fur. Show you the fur before I jump off. My bag of bones. So this is the bag. Wait, I don't think you can see me. So this is the bag that I would usually transport for my bone reading. So that's why I want small bones. You know, it wants to be very transportable, very, I'll show the casting map just before I jump off as well. So oh yes, so another addition. So this isn't a bone, but another addition. Some of you saw this on the manifestation abundance stream because we used that. So this is snake skin. We have snake skin, shedded snake skin, and we use this in the abundance spell for shedding our old skin of 2025. We're moving into 2026. We wanted to shed all of our old skin, so we did use that, but this will be used in bone reading as well, as an extra addition. But then we do have, so the fur must be in here, pretty sure it must be. Sheep tooth, fox tooth, Shark tooth. I haven't used those in readings yet. The shark tooth. Seabird spine. Here we go. This is the fur of a rabbit. So when I got it, I thought I can't really do anything with that. I don't know if I'll add fur to my bone collection. But now that we have an actual rabbit skull, I'm going to add the rabbit fur to the skull. So I don't know. It's a very small pelt of rabbit fur. So interesting. Interesting, unique and different. And don't be scared, don't fear it. You know, we should honour animals that died naturally. You know, that it's all ethically sourced. You know, we shouldn't let Hollywood's depiction of dark magic and voodoo take us away from, you know, nature, because back, like, you know, tribes, they would honour like every single part of the animal. They would wear bones of animals, they would use them for things, they would make things out of them, you know. It's like we've kind of lost that. We've kind of, now we think it's scary, now we think it's, you know, and it would be scary. If I was going out and actually killing the animals, then yes, it would be scary, of course it would. But yeah, it's not the case. It's not the case. So let me just see. Do you need to varnish teeth? Do they disintegrate as well? It depends how they are preserved. So a lot of taxidermy preserve bones very well. These bones don't need to be varnished. It's not like that they won't disintegrate. It's more, for me, it's about being too breakable, being too fragile and breakable. The teeth will be fine, totally fine. They don't need varnishing or anything like that. It's all just about how breakable they are. So if I can move this a little bit, maybe I can show you. So this is the casting mat I made myself, and so it will be put down flat. Of course, this isn't flat. This is imagine this is flat. So we have a selection. You choose a selection of bones, shells, and crystals, and you hold them just above this yin yang here, and you drop them down onto the mat. And where they land, we have different sections. So we have different sections here. We have advice and guidance, we have partnerships, we have social and friendships, career and business, finance and wealth, health and well-being, home and family, and spirit and self. So there's different sections of the mat, and where the bones land depends on how the reading will go. So of course, because they're kind of dropped, they only drop from a small height, but because they are dropped, I just don't want them to break. So I just want to be very careful with the ones that seem fragile. That's the only reason for varnishing them. They're all preserved very well. Local neighbourhood hates says, first time seeing this live, you give off strong Wiccan vibes. Well, I'm eclectic, so I'm not Wiccan, but I'm not against Wiccan. I'm not against any spiritual or religious practice. I'm eclectic, so I take what works for me, and what, you know, we're all viewing this earthly realm from a different viewpoint, and what works for me is not one strict set of like structured organized religion. What works for me is different things I've tried that have actually worked, you know, so, and that I've got good feedback on. So I'm always kind of, how can I say it, evolving and changing and adding and taking things away, you know. I take from Wiccan, maybe take from Taoism, you know, that's my favourite one. You know, I take from different practices, and what works for me, and I get good results and good feedback. So you can, Stuart Smith says, you can tell where people are from ancestry from skull shape. Oh, well, these are not human skulls. Crystal says she is a medium and she purchased the bones from an ethical supplier. No animals were killed deliberately. All the animals died of natural causes. Yes. Yes. They are, they tend to be roadkill or they're killed by cats. The birds are usually killed by cats. Or the deers, deers and sheep, yeah, they're usually they just die naturally on the mountains. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Five Word, hello and welcome. Local neighborhood hater says, do you think I could hire you to put a hex on my enemies? I do not do that. So there is something where if people are very, very negative to you and they're very evil people, there is a practice in where we can amplify and speed up karma. So it's kind of a loophole around hexing without negative effects. But it does depend on what they've done and how, if they're, if they've just played really loud music and they annoy you, it's not really enough for, to do that. If they've done really, really horrible, I will do a karmic spell, but I do not do hexes. I do not do anything that's dark. Like I said, I only work with the dark if I'm cleansing it or removing it. But I will work with karma if it's just, Bokari, I don't know how I'm saying that, so sorry. Says, hello, beautiful. I am from Sierra Leone. Hello, welcome. It's lovely to see new people. Local neighborhood hater says, what percentage of rituals are completed while stoned? I don't use plant medicines or drugs or anything like that for my rituals. I know of a lot of rituals that use certain plant medicines and things like that. It's not something that I do. I'm not really that. I'm not against it per se. Like some people use plant medicines and it works for them. Maybe it's medicinal for them. I'm not like I'm not a strict person that says like you can't do this, you can't do that. But personally, for me, I am. There are some rituals that require like a bit of wine, like blue lotus wine or something like that I spoke about in the last stream. But it's not getting drunk or getting high, that's not really my practice. Five would says it's interesting. Frey says thanks, as I have found some teeth and kept them in some sponge, so didn't know how long they will last. Yeah, if you just found them, they probably will be okay. Maybe varnishing them will be a good idea. If you don't know, because taxidermists have a specific methods. They use things like salt. They use things like burying. They bury the corpse for a while, and it like the microbes in the soil do a certain thing. Bones can disintegrate eventually, and be very fragile if they aren't properly preserved. So if you just found them, I would say varnishing is a safe bet, but teeth, I'm not sure. I don't know if you really do need to, but I would say maybe just in case. I was hoping you'd be a magic hit woman. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. That is not the case. Five Words says, I'm doing good. Hope you're doing amazing. I'm doing so well. I'm doing really well, and I'm so glad that you are. Kush Cloud 420 says, I'm empathetic. It's scary accurate. I'm guessing this person gets high when doing rituals. With Kush Cloud 420 is a name. No hate to that. Yes. So okay. So we have the priority list for the next stream. We have Ankita, Mary, Mohammed, Kieran, Tabini, Aniket, Samina, Aslila, Fire and Water, and Freya. So if you make it onto the next stream, you'll be prioritized. Like I said, the bones that are drying are probably not going to be ready in time for that stream. But some of the other bones that I did show in the beginning will be used. So there will be some additional bones. Um, but yeah, it's a sample reading, so you won't get as many bones, crystals, and shells as a full in-depth reading. If you are someone who does want a full in-depth reading, my website is in the description of the video. It's secretfrequencies.com/shop. That's secretfrequencies.com/shop. And I do Reiki cleanses, sound healing, in-depth reading. So any reading I do on stream, I do more in-depth. And then I also do spells. So love, money, things like that. Spell work. I do spell work. So you can check out my website if you like. All of my sessions are very reasonably priced. So even if you don't want anything now, maybe just check it out a little bit, see if there's anything you may be interested in the future. And also, there are 3 different ways to contact me. I'm saying for all this free. So you have my email address, my Discord, and my Facebook. So you're very you're very welcome to follow me, send me a message. Very happy to talk to you guys off stream if you have any questions or queries, or just want to tell me something, whatever it is. I'm very sociable and open to chatting. So do find me on there, Discord, Facebook, and email. So local neighborhood hater says you seem pretty cool, even though a bit odd. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. I do not want to be in the square, I don't want to be a normal person, because that seems pretty boring to me. So I appreciate that and take that as a compliment. Kushcar420 says, I don't know if having ADHD helps, but I can sense people's emotions very strongly. I'm not sure about yeah, me too. I'm not sure about ADHD helping, but that's really great if you can sense people's emotions very strongly. You may have gifts that you can hone in on and advance. So it might be worth trying some divination yourself if you have not already. Are there any Wiccan meetings at her local Weatherspoons? That's really interesting you say that. At the disclosure conference, I did take the beautiful lady, Julia Ankerhaven. She's a super soldier. She does a lot of podcasts on super soldier programs and more conspiracy-esque things than me. I'm very reading based, but she delved a bit more into. And I did take her to Weatherspoons, and one of our evenings at the disclosure conference, we actually did go to Weatherspoons. We have had a few drinks in Weatherspoons actually, so yes, interesting. But I think Weatherspoons is for breakfasts and alcoholics. But I do like their breakfast, I'm not going to lie. The vegan breakfast is great. Although it always adds an egg to it, which they find strange. They're like, vegan breakfast with an egg? I'm like, yes. Firewood says, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. And I really appreciate the likes. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do like it. I greatly appreciate that. And local neighborhood hater says, I love a good conspiracy. Well, check out Secrets of Antarctica. I posted a few videos on if you go into my posts, you'll find Brad Olson's channel, and the Secrets of Antarctica is a very, very interesting book, and he does a lot of talks you can find online. That's about Admiral Byrd, the hole in the South Pole, and the inner Earth. It's all about bases in the South Pole, so that's very interesting. I've been posting a lot about that. We did mermaids at Mermaid Cove in Zena. We did Crowley's Cottage, Aleister Crowley, if you're into occult a little bit. Yeah, the Super Soldier thing. If you go to Julia Ankerhaven's channel, there'll be some Super Soldier podcasts as well. So there's already a lot of links to Brad Olson's on my posts. That should be easy to find. I will link. I'll link both of them in the description of this when I finish. So I'm going to try to link the shop names so you can find them in Haworth, and I'll link Julia and Brad's pages as well. Um, Buglum, Budglum. I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm sorry. But from Turkey. Hello and welcome from Turkey. Amazing. A place I have not been yet. You already know about um, yeah, I am off to talk to. You know, the thing is, I am very into all of these things. I don't talk a lot about conspiracy on my channel because I'm kind of scared of YouTube deleting my channel, and I just want to do readings, and that's kind of my purpose. But I go to the conferences, and I have connected with a lot of different people who are speakers and writers in the conspiracy community, and yeah, it's very interesting to talk to. Very, very interesting, and I've learned a lot. My mother is an abductee experiencer since a child, and I have had many, many astral experiences with aliens, different spirits, angels, light beings. I've had astral experiences with different past beings, even Al himself, I've had experience with. So yeah, you don't see normie. I don't know if you should brand yourself as that, but I love I love the squares too. Even though I don't fit into that box, I get on very well. I'm good at small talk, so I can be normal when I need to be. I can put my more normal self to the forefront at times when it's needed, but the oddness does pop out from time to time. So you don't believe in aliens, you think we are the aliens. So, well, that's very valid because a lot of people's opinions of abductions are that they're government. That it's not aliens, it's government or even interdimensional beings. So everyone has different viewpoints and ideas about these things, and I'm very open. I never preach my beliefs or my experiences. I am very open to new ideas. I'm very open to being wrong. I'm very open to learning new things. And I love everybody's viewpoints and experiences because, like I said, we're all in this world from a very different viewpoint, and that's what makes it beautiful and interesting. We're all filling in different parts of the jigsaw puzzle. Everybody's right about something and wrong about some things, there's no one that's right about everything. No one. And that's the beauty of the human lifetime, because as we're living here as humans, or maybe like you say, aliens, we're still in an imperfect dualistic world that's not quite a utopia yet. Hopefully we can get there. Hopefully we can get there. If human life developed on this planet, there's a good chance it's something else. Oh, 100%. To think that we're the only things that ever evolved and ever developed is just crazy, in my opinion. Totally crazy. Um, unless you're someone who believes in flat Earth, and you believe that this is the only Earth, then yeah, maybe it makes sense that we're the only people. But that's not my belief. I tend to agree quite strongly with Brad Olson's work of the inner earth. I do think there's something at the South Pole, and I don't necessarily think it's the dome, the wall around us. I do think there's an inner earth, but I could be wrong. I'd be very happy to go to the South Pole and find out for myself if I didn't freeze to death. But a local neighborhood hates to say I love Bigfoot and alien stories, but I find flat Earth a bit too far fetched. Too far fetched for me. But yeah, I think Bigfoot is an interdimensional being, just like the Loch Ness monster. No, I was not abused by my father. I had a very, very normal and boring childhood. a nose ring doesn't mean anything. To say that every single person who has a nose ring or had the same experience as a child is very, very close-minded. It's a very, very close-minded viewpoint. I pierced this. I pierced my septum myself at the age of 15, and I have not taken it out since. Um, and I do not have an OF. I don't watch porn. I don't agree with porn. Um, I'm totally against it. I think it's wrong. Uh, I have no desire in watching two people I don't know get it on. I would much rather have a nice sacred experience with someone I love myself. So yeah. Jamini, hello. Yes, but septum fairy is just like too. It's like septum fairy is. It's just like racism. You know, you're generalizing a whole group of people just because they've got one aspect. You know, it's like saying all people with. You know, it's like when people used to say if you have your right ear pierced, you're gay. You know, it's like it's so it's so you're just close-minded. You're just you're definitely not the vibe for this channel, Josh Baxter. I'm going to block you. Totally not the vibe for this channel. Um, we're not onto the reading stream yet. This is still the same stream. I was just reading the comments. So, sorry. Local neighborhood hater says you ever get into law from the Balkans? Oh, you mean yeah? Yes. So that's Serbia, right? Serbia. It's Serbia or Serbia. I actually went to Marina Abramovich's um, Balkan Erotic, and it was a performance art based on the ancient fertility ritual of the Balkans. So I don't know too much about them, but I've definitely had delved into that a little bit, and I'd be interested to know more about that. So yeah, if there's anything about that that you could link to me, I'd appreciate that. Feel free to reach out. But yes, so that's the end of this stream. I really appreciate the likes on the video, guys. If you have not liked it yet, please do. And I will begin to set up for bone reading. I might have a little moment, you know, um, hydrate myself, chill for a moment, um, come back with bone reading. Let me see the time. Do you have work as well? Yeah, so maybe we'll do bone reading at 7. Maybe we'll just do like an hour and a half of bone reading, and then I'll get on with my work because I do have some readings to do. So like booked in readings. So it will be in about half an hour that we will start. Thank you, Damini. Yes, hit the like button if you have not. Hit it already. Local neighborhood hates these. You're pretty chill. I hit the like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate you. And I like streams like this where people come in and just talk, you know. And if you do want to link me to any of these things that you're interested in, feel free to. Just because I don't delve too much into conspiracy in my videos, I am interested. So we could always have a chat on email or Discord or Facebook if you would like. So feel free to reach out to me. For anything like that, I'm greatly, greatly interested. Especially since you mentioned Balkan, and I did go to that. It was only a couple of months ago that I went to that performance art. So yeah, very interested in that. And also, it's kind of very similar to my heritage as well, because we have like Serbia, Hungarian kind of roots on my mother's side. So yeah, I love chit chat streams. That's why sometimes I do jump on when I'm just prepping something, you know, like when I made the casting mask, I just jumped on and prepped it. Because I like chatting sometimes, it's nice. But yeah, so I'll jump off for half an hour. I'll probably see you in about half an hour. But Self FX and Local Neighborhood Hater. A big shout to you guys because I think they're our newest subscribers and I greatly appreciate you. I think Crush Cloud 420 was pretty cool as well. It's just that Josh that I didn't like. We even had that Turkish guy who was pretty cool, but I just can't read your name. So it's really nice to see new people. Boca as well. You know, it's really nice to have new people jump in. It's always lovely to grow the community a little bit, especially with especially with like-minded people, people that resonate. You know, um, we always get the trolls are always either calling me a witch and saying that I need to come to Jesus, or calling me trans. I just don't get it. I was born female. I have nothing against trans necessarily, and if I was trans, I would just say that. So yeah, I'm just going to put that user in timeout. I can't be bothered with things like that, to be honest. Um, Local neighborhood hates says a down payment for putting a hex on my enemies. It wouldn't be a hex, it would be a serving of karma. But please send me a message. Let me know what's happened. Let me know that what they've done, and I will see what I can do about that. I will tap in and see what I can do about that. And of course, give you an offer since you've give a super chat. You would have money off the spell. The spells are very reasonably priced anyway. I know they do it every live stream. It's either come to Jesus, you're evil, or it's when did you transition? When did you transition? Um, yeah. It doesn't bother me, but I'm just like, ugh, like I'm so over it. Like it's been said so many times. But okay, so I'm just going to jump off for a moment because I do want to take a small break. So I really hope to I'm a support of the strange and macabre or macabre. I'm not sure how people pronounce that. Some people pronounce that differently. Um, so I say macabre, but I think a lot of people say macabre. Um, so I'm going to actually, I have so much varnish just drying on my hands. So I'm going to properly wash my hands and have a break. But yes, so love, light and blessings. I hope to see you back in about half an hour. So look out for me. If you haven't clicked the little bell, maybe click the little bell because then you'll be notified as soon as I come on. If you stop being notified, untick and retick the bell. I found that works for some people. So love, light and blessings. Really hope to see you soon. We'll set up the bone reading and hopefully get through as many of you as we can. Love, light and blessings.